Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets, guys. Welcome. I'm Snorlax. You also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, and Jackus. Welcome, everybody. I'll be honest, I don't even know where to start because I usually say on Monday, I usually say I hope everybody had a great weekend, but uh, I don't think there are very many people that are having a great weekend right now. A lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos in the market, and of course, a lot of incredible volatility pretty much everywhere. There is so much to discuss. It's like I said, I don't even really know exactly where to start, but we are going to do our very best to cook you guys up a delicious meal here on Monday, give you our analysis after what has been an absolutely insane last few days for all markets, right? Not just crypto, but I mean, equities, it's self-explanatory, right? So much to break down though, guys. But before we can do that, I'm really going to need you to smash that like button, slam that like button, do whatever you need to do on this beautifully fine Monday to smash that like button so we can cook you up, like I said, the most delicious meal that we possibly can. I know Jackus wants to cook for you guys as well, so he will probably try to squeeze you for the like button even still, but I promise the alpha will be worth it, guys. Jack has absolutely crushed this move. So, yeah, no, I mean, to break down markets kind of on a bit more of a granular level, right? The yen carry trade blew up basically over the last few days and kind of combined with the short volatility trade in American equities also blowing up. And, we kind of got the love child that is the volatility that we're seeing, really over the last 24 to 48 hours. Crypto kind of front ran this equity open over the weekend by showing a lot of weakness. Bitcoin traded below 50K, ETH traded almost down and I think into like below 2100. The VIX spiked up to 65 at one point this morning. So there's complete turmoil happening over the last few days in the markets. Definitely definitely not something that I have seen, at least. Maybe some of you guys have seen stuff like this compared to COVID, for example, but for me, this was definitely a first. So a lot to dissect, a lot to discuss. Like I said, obviously markets have been excessively volatile. I can't even imagine trying to trade this on leverage right now. If you are, Godspeed, right? There's just absolutely no liquidity anywhere present in these books. So yeah, will we look back on this period and say, damn, I wish I bought here? Or are we going to continue lower? Is it over? These are questions that we hope to answer on today's show. Maybe we can calm some fears. Maybe we stoke some. Who knows? Find out on this episode of Market Check. But guys, I'd love to get y'all's thoughts. I mean, obviously, like I said, it has been an absolutely insane last few days. So we have a lot to discuss, and I kind of need to get your opinions, and I'm sure the people want them as well. But how are we all doing, and what are we seeing in the markets after such extreme moves all across the board?
Yes, morning, everybody. I would normally say good morning, but it is not a good morning. It is just a morning. Like I said to our community this morning, today it's just like it's like a cube of cheese. It just exists. It just sits there. That's like this morning. It's not good. It's just there. Morning, everybody.
The fucked up morning is what it is.
Oh, Will.
I got hit on multiple fucking stops last night while I was fucking sleeping. These people have no fucking, they have no balls, they have nothing. These whales are just fucking leeches on the fucking market, bro.
Will, you might need to take a minute, bro. Let me give some thoughts. You take a minute, get some coffee. Listen, I mean, where do I even? I have an echo. Can you guys hear me okay, or is there?
No, you're good.
Oh, someone in the comments said I have an echo. Okay.
You sound good.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, nice little bounce here. Our community knows I took some precautions as soon as I saw that 4.3% US unemployment print hit. Before anybody asks me in the comments, I did not sell any of my boys club. Don't you guys worry. I am not selling any of that. That is not a concern. Do not worry. But I did take some serious precautions right before shit kind of went crazy. I saw that U.S. unemployment print hit 4.3%. I'm at the airport, about to board a flight, and I literally looked over to my wife. It's pre-market New York session. We get the print, big unemployment miss, and I said, "This is awful." I said, "This is really, really, really bad." So I start hedging pretty hard. But yeah, I mean, it still doesn't make today better. Like, portfolios down, long-term holds, just kind of bracing for impact. This shit's never fun, right? You hate to see this happen, even if you're somewhat prepared for it, right? Because you're never really prepared enough. And you hate to see something that you care about, like, doing this, right? Like, that's in one aspect, it's beautiful, right? Like, it's kind of nature healing, and, like, at least we get some volatility. And I see it as opportunity, right? Like, I'm pretty calloused. I truly feel nothing. Like, I've been in this market long enough where this is not the first time I've seen a pattern like this, and it is certainly not the last. We will continue to see patterns like this as long as there's a crypto market. You will see this, but I believe that we are in that bottoming region. I have not started redeploying stable coins. I still have a small hedge open. I did take some profits early this morning, at just about 50.3K on Bitcoin, but I still have a decent bit of my hedge open. I'm still pretty stabled up, and that is not a reflection of me thinking we go too much deeper. Like, I think a sweep of the low is possible, right? I'm not planning for it. I think it's possible though. But I think it's maybe for me more of a time thing, where I don't think we're going to immediately V recover to like new highs. I think we could have a nice pump here. I think we could get a nice short covering bounce. I think, you know, what are the odds, in my opinion, of like Monday, August 5th, after a weekend nuke in crypto and like a historic VIX spike in equities, marking the Pico bottom of this sell off on a Monday, which we're like not even 2 hours into the New York session yet? I think probably pretty unlikely that like we set the low and don't at least pressure it one more time, or like E3 tests like 2250 or 2300, and Bitcoin probably retests like 51 or 50K again. I mean, I'm just, like I said, I took some profits on a hedge, but I'm not like anxious to redeploy my stable coins that I have. But yeah, like I think the mindset of a lot of people is kind of warped right now, and like I'm just going to touch on that quick and then I'll pass it. I think a lot of people, either you're up on some positions from way earlier this year and you're like, oh man, I could still sell right now and make some profit. Or you're down on some positions that you bought recently and you're like, man, I should just get out of this. If you weren't in the market and you were to approach me and be like, hey, Max, I want to buy crypto for the first time. Like, do you think what should I do here? I would say like over the next few weeks is probably like the best time you're going to get. Maybe, I mean, this is like a historically unbelievable time, in my opinion, to start DCAing, like in this bottoming region. And I don't think you need to put a ton of emphasis on like sniping the bottom or anything like that. Like, it's cool to say that you did it, but I think if you survived this, congratulations, you did it. That was a awful, awful cascade. It's crypto. It happens. You got to either get used to it or prepare for it, or both. But I think that this is your bottoming region. If you pressure the low again, you take it. If you don't pressure the low again, congrats. That was it. But I don't really know. I'm being a little bit careful still, but I mean, nice reaction off the low. I just don't think it's going to be like an immediate V recovery, but I mean, the low could be in. It really could. Like, you kind of got what you needed. You kind of got, the market got what it needed. But yeah.
Yep, I like this. I like to see that. I mean, we went from, look at that. We went from value area high to value area low in less than a week, like, and I know, Jack, as you were saying, you close above that, you think we send. So I would give it some time as well. I think equities need to digest what happened over the weekend, but I mean, I guess across the board in equities, we did see like a big gap down and then a green candle, right? Like, same thing. QQQ not looking terrible. IWM, same thing. But yeah, I really want to see this crushed, right? Like we need to see the VIX get beaten down again.
Did we
Like,
hit 65 or is that?
Yeah, we did.
Damn, that's unbelievable, man.
Like, when was the last? And that's something that should be studied as well, is what happens post VIX spike above 50. Like, where's 65?
No, Max, we are about to hit 65 on Bitcoin soon.
Hey, I'm still super long, bro. Like, I'm cool with that. I just have I still have 60% of my hedge open and some stable coins, but I'm cool with it, bro.
I mean, you've only been up here. This is the third time ever you've been above 65 on the VIX, and Bitcoin's still above 50K. So, but that's what I was saying to the Discord earlier, right? Like, this took a while. This took weeks, right? To from when the pump started to when you got back down to like sub 30. Actually, that took a long time.
I mean, bro, even look at so here's the thing I wanted to point out about a bottom. Is that okay? Let's just assume. Can I steal it for a second, Tucker? Like, I just want to talk about timing real quick, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is why I'm not feeling anxious about like, if we're going to compare this to COVID, because I mean, there's a lot of reasons to compare it to COVID. It's not COVID, but like structure wise, timing wise, like both right here, both of these were, right around sort of like the peak of like a Fed cycle, right? So during a Fed pause into cuts, I believe we're just front running what was coming, right? Like, I believe that like this is where we're at within this fractal. Even if you look at like what happened with COVID bottom, right? So they're both on the 4-hour time frame here, just zooming in. Like, this is kind of what I think could be happening, right? Like, you could get this is the same time frame right here. I'll try to make them look the same. Like, you could be bottomed. Like, this could be your COVID low, right? Like, you don't have to go quite that deep. We shouldn't go that deep. Like, there is more insulation in this market than there was in 2020. But you could basically just kind of do this again, like, and kind of like pressure that low at like 51, and then do this, and then start moving up. And I mean, this for COVID right here, this is the same time frame, right? And by the way, I was following this roughly for my short hedge. I mean, from this bottom where you had this big candle, which is kind of what I think we're getting right now. I mean, it still took, a week before you like really broke up, so it's like you probably hang out here for a few days. I don't think you need to feel like rushed on a V recovery. I think you probably use this like capitulatory bottom as a rough guide and say, yeah, we'll probably like look for a range, right? Like, if you want to look for, a bottom, like, I think you could do this, right? Like, this is kind of your bottoming range. I'll remove this. This is generally what I'm kind of looking and expecting right now is like, okay, here's your bottom. Let's see where our range forms. We'll look for, something like this, and then probably here, and then that's good, similar to what we did during COVID. But it doesn't have to, right? You kind of have to just look at historical bottoms and just think like, all right, what are the odds we're back at like 65K within 3 hours? I don't know, probably needs a little bit more time, but like, COVID is thought of as a V recovery, right? But look at the V recovery, the bottom on COVID, the bottom on COVID from here up until when we got back to like the point of origin of the breakdown, it took, 48 days to get back up there. So if that's the same thing, I don't know if it will or it won't be, that could take us well out here, and it could take a month, or maybe it's shorter, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if COVID was a V recovery and that's the fastest recovery we've ever had, then, maybe expect something like this, right?
Or maybe it's longer and everybody's anticipating some kind of fast recovery that's not going to happen quickly. At this point, like, I've bent the knee. All right, I've bent the knee. I got my stops hit. I'm gonna play more cautious here. Less dumpster diving, more cautious plays. Not fiat. I'm definitely not fiat. I know some people are, but I'm not. I just basically, rolled out of risk and rolled right back into, your high caps, your souls, your ETHs, your Bitcoins. I'm willing to eat downside on that. I'm not willing to get rugged on some fucking, 100K liquidity shitcoin. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I think that when we come out of this, everybody's expecting the COVID reaction, and when the COVID reaction doesn't happen, and we sit here for a while and try to recover, people will then capitulate more at the lows, and then we'll kind of come out of it, and then we can rip. I think people are expecting a fast reaction here, whereas I think it'll be slower, especially going into cuts.
I think the question is whether or not they stimulate, right? Because the thing that was pretty distinct about COVID was they didn't just cut rates, they also injected a ton of liquidity into financial markets, which obviously reflected in asset prices really quickly. But if it's just cuts, I don't know exactly what that means for the market, right? If there's no stimulus involved, where does that leave things? Is it necessarily a COVID recovery? Maybe it's a bit more of a grinded out bottom. I'm not sure, but I do think you have time, right? And maybe that V recovery looks like a V recovery on a higher time frame, but as Max pointed out, as we've seen before, these quote unquote V recoveries on a higher time frame still take a really long time to play out. And I remember just from previous discussions that I've had with people who kind of traded that wick in COVID, that a lot of people kind of expected it to eventually pull back and retrace, but it just kept kind of slow grinding higher and higher. So I am very interested to see how we trade out of this. Ultimately, I kind of feel like we want to wait to see how the rest of the week goes before we, make any definitive conclusions, obviously, because look, the VIX did something that it has only done maybe 2 or 3 other times in history, right? Like, the VIX itself has only registered 2 readings higher than this previously, but I think technically Black Monday in 1987 would have been I think that would have been like a 150 on the VIX equivalent. So yeah, it's only happened like 2 or 3 times ever. It's going to take more than one session for the market to digest kind of what just happened, because it's not just vol blowing out and stocks selling off and crypto selling off. It's the yen carry trade blowing up. It's liquidity and collateral across global markets being squeezed all at the same time. So I'm kind of waiting to see some bodies wash ashore. And when I do see that, I think that will be probably a more optimal time to bid.
I think the yen discussion is kind of important too. Like, people could sit there and predict and say, "Oh yeah, we knew." Nobody fucking saw that shit coming. Nobody even talked about it until it happened. And the
Tommy
yen
talked
blowing
about it
up,
last week.
the yen blowing up specifically was kind of a big indicator that there was potential downside for American markets. But I mean, and it's plausible because we do a lot of trade with them in general, right? We do a lot of product trade with Japan specifically, when it comes to high quality products, and high quality products come from Japan. So when you start to see some kind, and it's kind of crazy because like, I guess discussing it is one thing, but actually seeing it in live is kind of another. And I could tell you, foreseeing that it was completely implausible at the time, and then it happened. So we'll see how it carries out. Apparently, aren't they doing like stimulus or something like that, to kind of stimulate the economy in Japan or something? I heard. All right,
That
they're
might be
doing some kind
China.
of. Is it China? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I heard they
I
were
think
doing
there's been
something
an
to
unexpected
stimulate the.
cut. I think the Bank of Japan had an unexpected cut on like Thursday or Friday, and that was kind of like the spark that lit the flame.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And no, Robert, I don't watch anime, so I guess that's unfortunate for me. I watch markets, but yeah, now it kind of makes you wonder across the board. What's happening in other countries. I guess pay more attention, but I don't think any other country would really affect America specifically like Japan would, other than maybe China, because we don't do trade with Russia. Europe is just kind of like a backdrop that borrows from everybody else. So it's like, what other economic scenarios can happen with other countries? I would say like if the yen, essentially got wrecked, then at that point that could affect American markets pretty significantly. Japan is hiking. Is that true?
What is
If
that?
true, then that would be interesting. Being borrowing in harder and more costly. That sounds like they're gonna see more downside if that's the case. If that's the case, yeah. Middle East, I think that could be hedged though. Middle East is primarily just oil. We have our own oil. It's not like it would be detrimental to us to force trade with them.
Max, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
I'm basically just trying to drop equity market and Bitcoin volatility blowouts over the chart. What's the best Bitcoin volatility? Is it the
Devol?
BVol? That's what I have. The BitMEX BVol or whatever.
No, I think isn't there a Devol, Tommy?
Yes, I believe so.
Hang on,
I use the one on BitMEX usually, but you can't really do TA on it.
Did you see what Prometheus put,
Tommy,
bro?
come on. You can definitely do TA on it.
Tommy,
What?
Prometheus said Japan was taxing unrealized gains. What the fuck? I hope not, bro. Absolutely nobody will invest if that's the case.
A lot of people in Japan are having like, you think you might be having a bad day, but I'm sure your counterparties in Japan are having a even worse day right now.
Study
I mean,
being
their
up
market completely blew up.
1,000% and paying taxes on it when you're down now, 10,000%.
Jackus, how are you?
Sup?
How's your check
I'm
beer?
great. It's gone. I will have to get another one.
You deleted it.
It was in so quickly. It's like the way I was pouring in liquidity today to save the markets. I had to pour in the beer the same way, as quick as possible.
Yeah. So you had a pretty interesting fractal that was not my base case that appears to have played out. Now, the shitty part of it has just played out. The fun part is supposed to come pretty quickly. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about ye old NASDAQ fractal. How about it?
I'm happy, but I set up a goal when we began. Has that goal been reached? Has that goal been reached?
What was the goal?
Let me highlight it. All right, Max. Seems you missed it.
I think I missed it.
All right, let me highlight it for the people. I have to scroll all the way back up. Jesus. All right, here it is.
If you want Cook Session, better pump the likes to 400, not even debate. Okay, guys, listen. We have a lot of people watching today, I assume because people are terrified of what just happened. On YouTube alone, we have almost 600 people watching. On Twitter, there's like another few thousand, it looks like. So here's the deal. If you guys are watching on YouTube, like I said, there's almost 600 of you. You're going to want to hear from Jackus today. All right. He had a pretty unbelievable fractal that appears to be playing out, or at least the beginning part of it. You're going to want to hear his thoughts on that. If you want to hear from Jackus, do us a solid. Help the channel, help your own trading and investing career. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. It doesn't cost any money. All you have to do is just take 1 second and just move your mouse or your finger over to the like button and just hit it. And if you're on Twitter, you can hit that heart button, and then you can also hit that retweet button, which helps us tremendously. It's like 5 likes in one. So if you guys want Jackus to cook, you want to get this show on the road, like, let's not. Here's the thing. If you get to 400 likes, Jackus will probably cook the rest of the show. We're only 25 minutes in. Like, once you get to 400 likes, he's stuck. He's trapped. Like, he can't leave now. He put it up on the screen. It's right here. So if you want, like, let's just get this over with. You know what I mean? Like, he wants 400 likes. Let's get to 400 likes. And then he's going to cook for you. You're going to get a 5-star meal. I mean, he's a Michelin quality chef. I don't even know what we're talking about here. Let's see what we're at. 295, guys. We're 105 likes away. Good. We'll keep the show moving, but, like, there's 592 of you watching on YouTube. Like 400 likes is doable. You know what I mean? For Jackus. But I guess I'll just keep going. We'll keep going. And if you want Jackus, like, you know what it is, 400 likes. But it should be easy for you guys. We got a bunch of people
It is
watching
what it
today.
is.
It is what it
I'm
is.
I'm rotating liquidity right now to pour it in the markets, man. It's crazy day. Crazy day.
Crazy day. All right, well, let's talk about Pepe, actually. So Pepe was a position, like I told you guys, I decided, like, I'm not selling any of my boys club at all. Like, I still have Pepe, I have Brett, I have Andy, I have Wolf. I made the conscious decision not to sell any of those. I have some other market hedges, you know, to protect me, but my thought process on this was, like, I got into Pepe in the bear market. Like, you guys probably from the very beginning, like, you remember Pepe was kind of like my first big public play. Like, when I was getting started during the bear market and, like, BB, we were buying Pepe aggressively, like, down here, you know, and, like, I mean, we actually even bought the bottom in, like, September, but then I sold up here and then rebought down here. I made the decision with Pepe. I was like, look, Pepe is one that I could sell, right? Like, it's liquid, you know, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I said to myself, like, look, our price is going to be higher or lower than this. And this was when we were up at, like, that purple box, or a little bit, maybe a little bit higher. I said, look, higher or lower in, like, 2 or 3 weeks, probably a little bit lower. Higher or lower in, like, oh gosh, I'm afraid. I see Tommy smiling and I just heard a notification. Higher or lower in 6 months. And in my opinion, Pepe is going to be a lot higher in 6 months, right? I got into Pepe with some very clear criteria for taking profit. One, I wanted to try to hold it through the duration of the cycle because I believe it has the potential to go to 50 billion market cap like SHIB and Doge did last cycle. Okay, I believe that Pepe is poised to be that number one. I said that during the bear market. I haven't changed my tone on that at all. You know, and I also wanted to sell into an ETH BTC rally, right? Like, I want peak mania and peak froth conditions to sell my meme coins in, and my conditions weren't met. Additionally, I wanted to try to hold it for over a year just because I live in the US and you can save on taxes if you can make it past the 1 year point. So I just didn't quite, my criteria wasn't met, and I'm bullish on it. I still think it's the best ETH beta. And one thing I was saying to our community this morning was, you know, there's actually, I said it to you guys earlier when I started, but we've got some more people in here, so I'll say it again. Like, a lot of people, some of you probably bought during the bear market and you're looking at this pullback on a lot of stuff and you're like, oh man, you know, I'm still up a little bit. Maybe I should just sell and take some profit. Or some of you bought more recently and you're down and you're like, oh, I just got to get out. I can't take the pressure anymore. In my opinion, if you were completely sidelined and you were looking for entries into this market, like, this is where you should be looking for entries, not exits. You know, like, when you see assets basically get pummeled on a weekend session, coupled with a historic VIX spike up to 65, which, again, we've only seen like a couple of those in recent decades, well, a couple ever. That's not when you start panic selling. Like, that is the panic sell. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you want to buy somebody's emotional and financial capitulation. So, you know, look, like, could we go back and pepper the lows? 100% we could. But I look at Pepe and I go, this is where I have some stable coins that I've saved up here. I want to say, like, this is where I'm looking to redeploy over the next couple weeks. Like, I don't really care about buying the bottom, but, like, in my opinion, anywhere here, like, in like for Pepe, this is sort of your mega shove right here. Okay, this is your mega demand. Like, this is where on Pepe I go, okay, when was the last time daily time frame RSI was, you know, sub 30? Well, let's take a look at it. Here's daily time frame RSI, right? Which alone is not enough of a trigger, but when you couple that with, like, the VIX spiking the way it is and Bitcoin historic volatility doing what it's doing, like, the last time Pepe daily RSI was at this region was down in here. like right in this final bleed, right? So I guess it's possible, you know, we could kind of do this and then like pepper the low again. But like this is where I'm looking to get like even more long than I am, not sell. You know, you sell when you see, when you see daily RSI do this or this. You don't sell in the capitulation, right? I mean, you can, right? You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like, my mindset is be a little bit patient. I still have some hedges open. I still have some stable coins, but I view this as an active market participant and somebody with stable coins as an opportunity to get ready to bid and deploy, not to freak out because like this is the start of the dump. This is the end of the dump. Whether we go a little bit lower or not, we'll see what happens this week, right? But I'm looking at this like an opportunity. Let me see. 362 guys, we're getting so close. We have 619 people on YouTube alone. If you want Jackus to cook, we need 38 more people to like. That is it. 38 more people. Jackus has been up for so long. You should see our Discord right now, guys. You should see our Discord. Like the amount of cooking that went on in that Discord all throughout the night. Tucker and Tommy and Wabi, who live in the US, were up at 3 a.m. running an emergency voice call in the Discord. Sleep deprivation is an understatement to what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Just one of those days.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of those days. You got to protect yourself and you got to be there for people. All right, guys, 17 likes and then Jackus, then he's shackled to the cook.
Yeah.
Then he's shackled. He's shackled to the oven, guys.
He
He's
can't
gonna
get
have
away.
to cook for you.
Max, what do you think about this?
I mean,
that's I like your spot on Pepe, but I'm like, if you're gonna bid the boys club, like,
yeah,
it's kind of here, it's cooked, right? And I don't think it's cooked by any means. So, like your weekly order block, and that was quite.
Tucker, tell them what this is first, because some people didn't catch the last show.
So this is the boys club equal weighted index. It's Pepe, Brett, Andy, and Wolf, equally weighted by market cap. So I figured out a way to combine it all into one chart because, I love charting Brett and Wolf and Andy and Pepe and then charting them against each other and then charting them all against ETH. And it's like, okay, that's great, but I wish I could just chart them all at the same time, right? And then like put them against Bitcoin, put them all against ETH, put them all against Sol, right? This is just USD. So I got pretty crazy one night and just did a bunch of wild math and shoved all the charts together, and this is what came out. But man, I mean, I like the daily candle out of this zone. I do. Now, obviously we can continue to do this a little bit, but I think this is kind of your bottoming range bid spot for the entirety of the boys club, regardless of what chart you're bidding. But yeah, I don't I mean, these are all their Pepe pairs, right? Like look at Andy versus Pepe right here. Up 20% on the day, right? Like that's no joke. That's no joke right there. Brett Pepe up on the day, even Wolf Pepe up on the day. So beta is getting bid right here, interestingly enough, as the VIX is at 65, so which is hilarious.
Dude, Andy's up 8% on the day. That's hilarious. I love it, man.
Pepe's down 11. That's why. Yeah. Pepe's down 11.
Pepe's just the most directly correlated to ETH, It's like the other ones are a little bit more PvP because they're smaller. Like,
yeah.
Pepe's literally just juiced ETH, man. So it's like you don't really have as much insulation, man. It's just a little bit more ingrained. But Jackus, guess what?
Did we hit it?
We destroyed it, bro. We got 641 people on YouTube. We got 409 likes. Chef, put down your check beer. It's time to cook for the people. They gave you exactly what you asked for.
Take it, Jackus. Take it.
Let's go.
Okay, I didn't want this rumor to get out, first of all, DK. So, like, please just, I would just ask that you, like, politely, just try to be respectful. Like, this was kind of private, you know, but I will confirm, like, this is totally true information. Which is crazy because, like, I don't even realize like how you got that completely accurate and true information, which is 100% true and happening. But yeah, DK says rumors are that Andy will be used to backstop the Japan bond market. Yep, I didn't want it to get out, but I mean, here it is. So I guess thanks for spoiling it, DK. You know. Anyways, Jackus, I'm sorry, bro. It's time. It's cook time,
bro.
Before we start, I need you, Tucker, to say it. I need you to say it.
Which one, Jackus?
You know which one, Tucker. You know which one.
You know which one.
Say the line, Tucker.
Boys, we're pumping. Boys, we are pumping.
Let's fucking go. All right, let me set up the screen here, guys. What a crazy day. What a crazy day, guys. But you know what? I had enough. I had enough of this industry cheating, and I say that we start pumping from here. And if we can sustain this rally, I think, and I'm not kidding, I think we're gonna V-shape recover this one to all-time highs by the end of August. Like, I legit think so. I think that there is more work to be done, surely, on the lower time frames. But like, let's face the facts, right? This entire drop was not done by crypto. Crypto is in its best fundamental shape it's ever been. The gateways are in, and this was the final flush, in my opinion, before the real bull market begins. We cannot, like, with certainty just say that this is the bottom, just like we never can say anything with a certainty. But there are very good probabilities right now, because when you have, you know, where are the problems, right? It's Japan, it's the bond market, it's the yields, but not crypto. Crypto was affected on FTX. That was a solely crypto event, right? Otherwise, this would not have happened. We would be straight up here going like this. This, though, was not a crypto event. So I think that if things are settled, and there is a big if, right, and how it all unfolds, because I think we gotta, like, I do not think that the recession problems that I was talking about right here are gone, but I think it's going to be very specific time-wise to play this all. It's going to be tough, never easy. But if things that are currently breaking stabilize, I think that crypto, and this was my base case where I said I am locally bearish but macro bullish, right? And I was saying, let me actually have this one, right? This is, by the way, the Nasdaq fractal. Those of you that are not familiar with it, it's, where are you? It's this one, right? When we were trading in October, September 2023, we basically had legit the same price. We swept the liquidity, and then we shoot up higher. And I think this is totally possible of doing right now. Again, there is more work to be done on lower time frames, but like, I see, if things are not breaking and things stabilize, I see no reasoning why crypto shouldn't go up from here. And then I think the recession fears, or like the recession problems, or like the macro problems that are undoubtedly in the world, like, we still do have the stuff I was talking about. We still have the, you know, uptrending unemployment and all of that is happening, right? But these things did not go away just like that, but they are not as much crypto related. And I think in this time period, BTC can easily, sorry, I had a background noise from someone. it can easily go to like 110K. Then the recession hits, and during that recession, BTC will once again become a modest pullback, where like lots of stuff sells, but BTC is not selling as much, and then it continues, right? Like this way, basically. Like think of it, right? Think of it, guys. All the way from the bottom, we've been moving up, and most people kept losing money. Every single time they FOMO'd, they've been shaken out on the pullback, and it's still higher. Like if we go all the way down here, right? Like here, everyone was promised for lower. Guess what? We flipped higher the trend. What about here, right? People FOMOing, right? Then they shake them out. Guess what? Quick pullback. They send it lower, up, lower again. People thinking here is going to be a breakdown. We are higher again. What's happening here? People waiting for a pullback. Pullback is not coming. What people are doing here, they are FOMOing. Shake them out, make them feel like it's a breakout. 33K retest coming again. Nope, higher up. We go up here. Guess what's happening, right? Lots of people FOMOing. If not here, then all the way here. But guess what? So many got shaken out today. Easily here, we can start sending higher again. And these people, and all the people will be sidelined. This is an insane market maker playbook, how you keep moving the market up while shaking people out and not making them money, not letting them make money. And I was saying why I do remain to be macro bullish is because we are still, and by the way, we just filled this FVG. And by the way, there's also a nice thing that we front run this little high on spot, but touched it on leverage, meaning there was so much. And I was saying this on 1 hour time frame, that during this drop, there was more spot bid. Obviously, this is the index price, but like if we were to go on Binance or Coinbase, there was more spot bid on this drop than the previous one, showing lots of panic and showing lots of buyback. So going back to this, right? There was lots of spot bid front running the support, which is, in my opinion, important. It shows immense interest in the asset class, and nothing has changed from that. Like BTC is still remaining to be insanely bullish fundamentally wise going forward. So I do not really see a reason why BTC should be going lower unless the problems that are within the world keep on prevailing. But with the way we are looking at Wix, for example, right? Look at that. We went all the way up to March COVID levels. Like we basically went all the way up to the insane panic of COVID, which was an unprecedented event. We went nearly to the levels of 08. Like this is only, like we have outreached the dot-com bubble bottom and dot-com bubble top, basically. This has only happened 3 times in history. So if there is a time for the market to slow down, and again, I do not think that these problems will just go away, right? Like I think we are going to get another spike, maybe even higher, but it can come next year, right? Like what we are probably going to get now is this slow bleed before you're going to get this, and then it's probably the time to shove in. So with that in mind, and by the way, I think it's still time to take this carefully, because we can, again, like I'm seeing good signs right here at the bottom, local one. And I think we are entering right here, we are entering like the first level of resistance. We need to be flipping this level. And if so, then I think the buyback is real. Right now, we are probably going to pull back here, retest, and maybe it goes lower, right? Like, wait. Maybe we go and fill this FVG. Maybe we come back to retest this support, totally possible. If, so right now it's just an anticipation. Full confirmation comes above. But if we do flip it, I think then it's time to be ready for it, right? The same thing goes for Ether, and I'll get to Ether, right? But what I want to say is that when there is a panic, as we have seen today, anyone that makes buys here, and I made the buys here, anyone that makes those will not go wrong on spot in a longer run, because this is where majority people are panic selling. This is where people are getting forced liquidated. So even, by any chance, and I do not think this is the case, but if by any chance we still go to like 44K, which is still not out of a question for right now, even if that happens, these will be just insane buys that you could have done today, right? It's going to be the same as if you were buying right here. And do you think that anyone that was buying here, and I was saying this, I was writing threads like, you want to DCA these red candles. Do you think that anyone that was buying here is a loser nowadays when we are up here? Or do you think they were the winners, right? But back then, when you were here and the price was doing this, you were called an idiot, especially down here, right? If you held through it. So these will be great buys going forward, but lots of people will lose. They will lose the sight of this, especially on H1. So I cannot tell. Nobody can tell you how exactly we are going to move from here. We all have just probabilities, right? Up here, I didn't know this would happen 100%. Nobody knows this. And although I tend to nail the hard time frame moves usually, it's just a probability at the end of the day, which I work with by experience and so forth. But the risks in the market were big all the way here, which I kept informing about. And now I had so much liquidity to pour in so cheap, right? And I'm glad for it, because lots of you messaged me that like, and by the way, guys, I'll get to all those DMs. I'm just getting so many of them today. Like I read some that I like helped save you 40K, $40K dollars and so forth. Like I'm really happy for it, right? Like I'm super happy that you guys managed to escape this. I still think it was worth having some exposure to the upside. Like there is a difference in what plays out versus like the way you execute it, right? Like you never want to be all in, you never want to be all out, basically, is kind of the strategy. You want to be changing the ratios in between so that you make the right moves. But anyways, guys, this makes for a perfect V-shaped recovery from here. And if so, I think we are going, like there is no more reason to keep doing something like this. No more reason. If this is the bottom, this is going to V-shape recover, right? It's basically gonna do something like this if this was the bottom. And if it wasn't, then we are not going really higher. We should be like rejecting from here and making another sell-off. But notice the volume, right? And especially I'll talk ETH here, because ETH just did undergo the largest spot volume since the COVID crash. This is the same on Binance. Whenever you have such big sell-offs, right? This is where big boys accumulate. And we are not done by the day. Like this may even exceed COVID crash for Ether on Binance. And I think Coinbase as well. Look at COVID, right? Like you want to be buying these types of events. Amazing, amazing. So historically speaking, we may still get, and lots of people will ridicule RSI. And like I always say, you do not want to look at a single metric. But historically speaking, right, if you made a buy at any of these levels, right, let's say like this, let's study those, right? You were buying here the bottom of 2008, basically, right? And even like, let's say you bought here and then the market continued lower, which is something you need to be prepared for. These are not, buy on a margin type of levels. These are DCA and spot. If you are more conservative, get something, but wait for some reclaims first. if you are more aggressive and you believe in this, you want to be DCing it right now. Historically speaking, anyone that bought here is at 100. Do you think they've done poorly? I don't think so. I think those people are laughing now that we are at 2000. Obviously, if they hold all the way up and didn't get shaken out during COVID. But like, look at these, right? So like here, and here you got the divergence too. But here, right, was the first one. Here was the second buy. Look what price has done each time, right? Like here, it went up 240%. Here it went up 130%. Obviously, the COVID bottom, which went all the way up. Then even here, which was the beginning of a bear market, which I do not think we are in yet. I think this is just a mid-cycle higher time frame correction, but the macro structure still remains bullish. Look at here. This was the bear market beginning after a huge bull market, and still this has produced a 60% pump, right? Look at this one, the exact bottom. Look at this one, right? August, bottom. You do not want to be shorting here. You want to be buying and DCAing it on spot. Again, this doesn't mean, right? This doesn't mean we cannot be going like to some degree lower here. And boys, we are pumping. We are pumping here. Like, we gonna rip these bears and we gonna get what we deserve. And what we deserve is a bull market. We've experienced so much pain, so much shit. We've watched other asset classes outperform us. I am tired, man. Like, send this fucking shit to where it belongs. I want to see ETH at 20K, I'm not even joking. This is the one I was waiting for lots of part. So even if to some degree we come back and refill here, these are just great higher time frame spot levels. Now you want to be careful with margin. As Tommy said, it's so easy to get liquidated now on margin. So easy.
The order books are empty right now. Completely empty.
And when they are empty, and trust me, guys, I've been through COVID. This is not the same as COVID, but there are lots of similarities. I was live during that day when it happened. Back then, exchanges had to halt. BitMEX was the main exchange, and they had to halt trading. Otherwise, BTC would go to zero. There was like, I do not remember how much was it, but it was just, if not few thousands, then few millions of liquidity left in the order book all the way to zero on BTC that day. They allegedly halted trading, which is not common for crypto, which is 24/7. So it was slightly different, but the panic was same. The type of the sell-off that we experienced today was the same. And the way we are kind of buying back right now is also very similar. And
Jackus, can I just show you something real quick just on that point? This is what I'm expecting right here. And then I'm going to give it right back. This is the COVID bottom.
Yeah.
This is on the 2-hour time frame. On the left is COVID. On the right is where we're at right now. I think this is kind of my playbook for right now. And it sounds like that's more or less what you're expecting as well. Something like this.
Yes, sir. I like it. I mean, what a crazy day, guys. I think it starts from here, Max. I legit think that, like, I'm seeing good signs for this to be the bottom. Yeah. Look at this one, right? This is something I was saying earlier. This is where they have created a fake triangle and a fake triangle breakout. And lots of people after this drop were watching. And when they saw this, right, everyone is like, oh, I'm going to draw a triangle. Oh my God, breakdown. They are anxious. They are sitting on that exchange. They have that finger ready on that sell button. And when they see this, they're like, I cannot take it anymore. Click. And they sell. And then, you get the typical Bogdanov meme,
He sold.
He sold? Pump it. That's legit. That's legit what has happened here. Now they pumped it, so I do not see much reason to be coming down here unless we would be getting a further sell-off. And if anything, flipping this level is super bullish, and we want to keep getting flipping of these levels. So I think it's looking really amazing. And by the way, this RSI getting overbought on M15 is probably going to cause a pullback here, right? Like it's going to cause something like this. It's not going to be like straight up. It's still going to be scary. I was buying today with so much liquidity, and I was scared myself. And I went through COVID. I went through lots of it, and I was scared. I'm not gonna like fuck with you. I was scared. This is what you want to see, right? This is where you get overbought, RSI reset, and higher. You need to start reclaiming levels. And you want to see how like this daily closes, but like this is perfect. Look at this wick on this daily candle, right? This is where lots of buyers are stepping in. You can see that on the volume. You can see how everything is oversold. We saw negative turn. We saw funding get negative. We saw lots of OI flash. We saw lots of liquidations coming in, and now we are seeing lots of short liquidations coming in. By the way, I think we come back to retest this support. There's no need to rush things right now. All right, I think we still come back. Sorry for the chart being kind of messy right now.
What level is that? 2,300, roughly.
Yeah, it's roughly 2,350. We could say.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair one. We probably will retrade to, but that's a good one, right? Like, and let me delete this fucking squiggly. Yeah, this would make sense, right? Like, ideally, we close like here for the chess guys. It's a good daily close, but then we come back down and fill partially the wick, 50% of the wick. It gets scary again tomorrow. We come back, retrade to it, and then higher up, right? And then what you're gonna get is basically, in some ways, a similar type of recovery we had in COVID, basically, right? Like you want to start getting these. You want to start getting these. And if so, and it's all, by the way, lining up perfectly timing-wise, right, too. So looking at this like zoomed out version, chill, guys. It's, let me delete all of these now. Let me delete all of these. We are at a higher time frame range lows, basically, right? Basically, you could draw it like this, kind of whatever. It's not that like this is a liquidation. This is a hard time frame reaccumulation. In a few years' time, you will look at this box, and this was my base case, and you will see a giant reaccumulation before your scaling is going to be something like this, basically, right? This is the big dip you want to be allocating spot into. Again, it will all be like, if you look back nowadays and you look in COVID, it's all clear. It's all hindsight. It's all totally normal. I was posting a fractal here saying this is like the Nasdaq, basically, right? And that we are going to like, this is the time to start allocating here. And I think this one right here is a very similar situation. But you know what? So many people were bearish all the way here, and they did not flip bullish until right here. That's the reality. And lots of the guys you see today with like 500K followers, they were like 100K back then. And you saw lots of them not trusting any of this, still saying that it's a bear market and lower. You saw them flip bullish here. Then this happened, and you saw lots of them saying that we will be getting at least a pullback to here, if not here, and they missed the boat, right? And then when it was doing this, they couldn't trust it. They were still waiting for a bigger pullback. Be careful, guys, waiting for lower prices. It's not about making the perfect entry right now. It's about making an allocation. I myself am so many times early. I'm not making the perfect spot buys as I could. I'm often early, but in the long run, I win because of that. And I can be early selling the top. And the BB members knows this. They know this, right? And I tell them I'm often early, but this is a way to ensure longevity. I often tell them I'm taking partial profits on this way up. Can it keep on ripping? Sure be it. Many times I'll take full profits, and lately it's been working out for me. Like usually when I took full profits, it dumped. But in the past, I had situations where I would like sell right here and it would continue all the way up here, right? That's totally normal. But these levels, again, I cannot make it more clean than this, is where, by the way, how lower did we go? Yeah, we swept. By the way, we swept these eco lows, man. We swept these eco lows. It's so funny.
ICT smiling from somewhere.
Got him.
Jackus, what about the equal lows at 3K?
Exactly. ICT is unfortunately still waiting for these guys. So
any day now.
All of them will get filled.
Any day. Any day.
Soon.
You wouldn't understand. Any day.
Truly few.
Guys, real quick before Jackus keeps cooking, we have 700 people watching here on YouTube. I think this is our largest ever YouTube show. Do me a solid. If this is your first time here, if you are new to the channel, not only like the video, right? There's something more important than your like. We put out content like this every single day. This is a daily live YouTube show called Market Check. We are here Monday through Friday for about an hour and a half every single day. Same exact time, 10:55 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. Every single day. Right. So if you are enjoying the content, if you are new here, hang out with us every single day. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, guys. Additionally, it's a free subscription. All you got to do, hit that subscribe button, right? I'm sure there's some new people here. We got, again, a lot of people watching. But yeah, we're here every single day. So hit that like button, but also subscribe if you are new here. Back to you, Jackus.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, man. I was drawing this one out on Total 2. Look at this precise retest and this capitulation into higher time frame support. Like, I do not see a reason. Like, do you guys see a reason why should we be going lower than this right now? Unless there is like some TradFi risk still imploding over the next day.
The only thing is, so like your range low, the other blue line, the one, yes, that one. There's no reason to go below that, right? Like that is truly mega demand, right? That is a absolute, that's like a 4-year trend line, right? 3 or 4 year trend line, which was a bull market range low, and then a 500-day reaccumulation in the bear market. This pullback sucks, but technically you are pulling back to retest ultra high time frame demand. My only issue with any of this is, does it bottom immediately or does it take a few more weeks? I think you're right to suggest that it doesn't really matter. If you're allocating spot and you're okay with a little bit of volatility, over 6 months, you're probably going to look back and this is going to be a huge winner. The probabilities are greatly in your favor to bid any accumulation that happens around this level. 100% I agree. But to answer your question, why would we go below there? I think unless there's something that we don't know at this point from a technical perspective, this is your region right around here.
So Max, you're saying there's a chance?
I am saying there's a chance. I'm personally being I'm being a little bit patient, and I'll give it right back, Jackus. This is the only reason why. I just showed this, but Bitcoin up top here and here, and then here's ETH down below on both. I think you'll probably just see something like this, right? So it's like I'm okay just kind of waiting for like, you know, a higher low. Like there will be a higher low to form, you know, whether it's from here or it's higher. Same thing with ETH. It'll probably do this. We'll get scared one more time. Oh, we're gonna roll over, and then you know you put in your stair step like this. That's just all I'm waiting for, you know. But like the bottom could be in, but that's literally it for me.
I do not know how this volume is calculated, and it's not yet the end of the day, and it's still just Monday. But like, dude, this is one of the largest volumes we have seen. And obviously it depends on like context. So like volume itself, just like any metric, is just telling you that there has been lots of hands exchanging, right? There has been lots of people panic selling and some entities who were buying, you know, whether they were Larry Fink buying your bags or whether that's been you know, market makers, whoever. But lots of hands were swept. That's the only thing volume tells you. Now, where does it happen is telling you way more. And whenever you have lots of hands being swept, that usually means it's time for a big bounce, right? So this is just a further confirmation for me that I do not see us. Because again, I think like fundamentally speaking, the industry has never been more bullish than it is now. The gateways are ready. Imagine they are going to roll out the regulatory clarity I kept on banging about. They'll do it in the next few months to few weeks. They'll do it, right? And that just opens the gates to send way higher. So yeah, look at Coinbase volume. Like it's not like the same as on Binance, but like it's still one of the biggest ones basically since all the way down here. I think generally speaking, but Coinbase volume is going down. I'm not sure why is that. But yeah, and this is, by the way, like we have to take into account so many trades are being done OTC, but these are open market trades, right? Which is like insane on its own. Apologies. So, sorry. Now, I think, you know, like the way this Ethereum sold off is, I think it's crazy. It's our TLT and TMF longs printing well, but it's a big it's a big scare. I do not think the recession is going to go away just like that. But I think what we are going to see right now is like actually, let me do it like this. What we are, maybe I should have used SPX, sorry, because it's SPX volatility, although they go hand in hand. What we are probably going to see is that once we have broken the downtrend, we have usually seen the first sell-off, right? And then we still climb back to new all-time highs. This is what happened in 08. We've broken the downtrend, right? And here we broken the downtrend right here. Then we had another move higher and then the rollover. And obviously each time is different because it was a different like metric. So we have to use the context. But look at it, right? Like each time you get a big spike. This is basically what we got, right? Like we got the first spike right here. This is the same as now. We get a first spike. We've broken the frame first. What happens after? Things stabilize and stock market starts moving up again. And how long does it take, right? It takes 224 days. During this time is your crypto window, in my opinion. This is when we print. This is when we get what we deserve. No joking. Then, right after the first break of the downtrend, you get the new all-time highs, then you get the sell-off, and then you get the final sell-off. So it's always kind of different to based on circumstances. But like, this is kind of what happened. Look at what happened in 2022. We first broken the downtrend. It's kind of different each time, but kind of the same. Then you get another run towards new highs, and then the bear market begins, right? So I think what we are possibly going to get here is that we got like a bullish retest, basically, and yes, TA does matter. So we got a nice, bullish retest right here. The markets will stabilize here. We will kind of do maybe something like this. We will maybe even make new all-time highs. But then all those problems are not going away. And then something like this happens, probably next year. This is how I see it playing out with the recession. So I do not think there is much higher to go. I think some stocks will do well regardless of the recession, because there's always some sectors that benefit or are not impacted as much. But I think that this is kind of like we are at a rounding top. And if you guys, do you remember when we were down here, I was saying this, right? We will be like bears will be right, but first they will be so blatantly wrong. And guess what? They've been so blatantly wrong. And now all of those bears who've been like, oh, this is going to be the Great Depression, are coming back saying, I told you so. No, they've been saying that all the way down here. They've been saying it all the way down here. I was saying we are going to go up, make those bears wrong first. We will create, the narrative of soft landing. We will make few swing higher up here for people to believe that the soft landing was achieved. We will make them buy the top, and then they will dump it. So I think this is unfolding, but it's super hard to play all of this right timing-wise. Super hard. You need to be seeing the broader picture. You need to be seeing, you need to be looking at thousands of different stuff, and that's not easy. It's not easy for me. I may sound confident sometimes, but I'm just a regular dude like any of you. I'm no insider. I'm not part of the Fed. I do not see their books. I'm just looking at the charts using data, being logical and drawing out context, and having enough experience of being fucked over day by day, year by year by these evil beings out there, right? And I'm just sharing the journey with you voluntarily. So it is what it is. By the way, guys, regarding the newsletter, I was watching the markets all day. I was cooking so much in the BB Discord that I had no time to write the newsletter just yet. But I am looking forward to once we are done here, probably. So I'll probably be working from the wake up till the dawn. But I still do want to finish it up and kind of give my thoughts with a more. And I did get lots of my thoughts here. I do believe this is serious alpha, which, by the way, if you guys enjoy, don't forget to press the like button, which is how you help us grow. But if you want to know more, also, I'll do a little bit ad towards my newsletter and the BB Discord. So in the newsletter, guys, I cook up every single week, right? On Monday, I always write a new weekly update. If you are interested, link in my bio. And if you want to hear from me every single day, especially today, right? The past 3 days, every BB member will tell you that I was up there yesterday on a Sunday evening. My girlfriend was mad because I was there for everyone. And I was cooking late. Then I woke up, I was cooking again. And then we had a Then we had a
Hey,
like a
Jackus,
normal VC call. Yeah.
I have to say, guys, no one sign up for the Discord real quick. Like, no one sign up without using code Chef 50. Sorry, Tucker.
What'd you do? What did
I
you
did it.
do?
I did it. I don't care. I'll deal with it later. I'll deal
Hey,
with
boys,
your wrath later. Code Chef
Mm,
50. Listen,
50.
listen, guys. This is linked to Jackus's account. You don't even need to use his link. Okay, it's linked to his account. The amount of money that Jackus saved people and could have saved you and actually made people. And it's not even just him, right? Like Tommy had the same bias. Then I gave out a nice short at just under 65K. We took profits this morning at 50.3. You get to hear from all of us. It's not just one, right? We have a really big team. If you want to be in that Discord, and I know like everybody feels poor right now, so it's like, oh man, the last thing I want to do is spend money. You know, it's kind of an old cliche saying, right? You do have to some degree on useful resources, spend money to make money. We can't constantly update everybody on Twitter and on YouTube, right? But this is our way of communicating 24/7. Like it is literally 24/7 positional updates, market updates, changes. If you've ever wanted to give that a try, this is the lowest risk. And because Jackus just murdered it so much, if you want to get those alerts from Jackus and the entire team, right? 50% off the Discord for your first month where you can try it risk-free. There's only 5 spots available. So if you want 50% off a line of communication, 24/7 positional and market updates from Chef Jackus and the entire BB team, 5 of you can use this code at checkout, Chef50, which of course stands for Chef Jackus. Chef 50, 50% off your first month. So it's like if you don't like it, it's half as much, right? So you mitigate your potential downside, but you're gonna like it, you're gonna love it. Trust me, especially during times like this. You want to buy it when it's down. You don't want to buy it when it's up, right? And I didn't even talk to Tucker about this. I just did it.
No, he didn't. It's okay though. It's all right. I understand everyone is a little bit beaten down, shaken up. So I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah, there's only 5 available.
Yeah.
There's only 5 available. So
By the way,
totally up to
you
you.
wanna just to add up, you wanna go for the gold version because that's where I cook in the VC calls, and you get to see like my TA channel.
This one only works for gold, by the way.
Ooh.
So
Boom.
And I would give heads up to the difference between the BB Discord and the newsletter, right? So the newsletter is directed towards people from lower income countries who do not have such a big like monthly income, right? Basically, and you only get a weekly update on Monday, which still provides lots of information, lots of alpha. But if you can afford it and want daily updates from me, then, and the whole team, by the way, and so forth, and lots of other things, right? Like the BB members will tell you, then you want to join the BB Discord because you like especially the last day is where like we've been there every single hour. I've tried to answer everyone's questions and all of that. So if you can afford it, right, then the gold member with daily updates is for you. If you cannot, then you can at least get to the newsletter, which is still like insane alpha for just $15, I would say.
And by the way, with this is coming out like this week. The BB terminal is coming out like this week. So you could get 50% off the Discord. You can get 50% off the Discord, and you get to try BB terminal and the Discord, like which is 2 hours a day of voice calls, positional changes, 24/7 updates, everything, all this month for half off, right? I know everybody feels poor, but 5 of you can use that code Chef50. You go here, you click gold at checkout, you do half off. You put in the code. Let's see how many are left. Let's see if people use the codes. I know somebody signed up. Somebody said something in the comments. Oh man, all right, we got 2 left, guys. If you want it, we got 2 left. But yeah, well, maybe we'll let you tweet it out, Jack, if you want it. I don't know if the YouTube crowd doesn't act fast enough.
I'll wait for the YouTube crowd, and then by the end of the stream, I'll tweet it out. So let's give the YouTube crowd time for being here live, right? Like we always want to revert the loyal community being here live, I would say. But yeah.
Look at the newsletter too, guys. The newsletter is so nice. So if you don't want the Discord too, you could just sign up for this. The code doesn't work for this, but this is 15 a month. I don't say this lightly, by the way, guys. Like, if Jackus just wanted to like write a little newsletter and I didn't like it, I wouldn't say anything about it. It's absolutely unbelievable, first of all. So if like the Discord is not your thing and you just want like once a week, it's not the same kind of depth that you would get with the Discord. You know what I mean? Not even close, because that's multiple times every single day, all throughout the night. Like they were doing emergency calls last night at like 3 a.m. US time. And you just want an email once a week. There is no better value on the entire internet for this. And by the way, Jackus keeps like 100% of this. We don't do any, like, we don't take anything. Like, this is all just him. This is his thing. So if you don't want and you don't need the updates from the Discord, right? You could sign up for his newsletter. Pretty easy to find on the site. You just go newsletter. This is actually unbelievable. Like, I don't know. I think he should be charging more, but that's just me. You know, I'm an American. I just don't understand the European mind. I can't understand it, but it's unbelievable value.
I'll get you to Prague and you'll understand, Max.
Yeah, I'll drink Czech beer with you, Jackus. I'll drink Czech beer.
You will.
But yeah, guys, BB Terminal is going to be unreal. Actually, I might leak a couple pictures. Ed sent them to me, man. I don't even know if you guys have seen them yet. What?
No, I haven't seen any pics in like 2 weeks. So
hang on, bro. This is okay. This is unreal, dude. I don't know if I want to show these yet.
Leak it, bro.
Should I leak it? Should I do it?
Yes, just maybe not everything. Just a little.
Should I do it?
A little taste, yeah.
I might do it.
Just do it.
Okay, hang on. Let me figure out how to do this quick. I'm gonna take some screenshots of what he sent me so far. And then
we are at 55.5, guys.
That's so nice. All right, hang on. This is so nice. So this isn't all of them. I just have a few little screenshots. Like this is coming out. This is coming out this week. So you'll get this for free with your membership, your Discord membership, which is elite, and you're going to love it. Let me get the screen back up real quick. And guys, just remember, I haven't seen how many people have used that, but 50% off if you do it sooner, and you get what I'm about to show you. All right, let's do this, and then let me drag some screenshots.
With the
ready? So here's the first one. So it's got portfolio tracking. This is what the dashboard will look like, more or less like this. Okay, you guys see this? Okay. So here's like here's portfolio tracking. You know, you'll have all your, you know, your stuff. You can link your wallets, all that. And then you're gonna have this as well. So we're gonna have like Agger, then you have an order book toggle for like every exchange order book. You've got all your indicators down below, like it kind of gets cut off on the screenshot. But really easy, nice, clean to use. Then we're having, and I'm only showing, this is the last one. Automatic spaghetti charts. Unreal. It's going to be nice, guys. Wow. It's going to be real nice. So it's coming together. But yeah, that's just kind of a little sneak preview for you guys. Okay. It's coming out real soon here. So yeah, if you want to get in, half off to Discord, get all the signals, plus BB Terminal all this month. Couldn't apply the promo code. Let me see. Let me see there, sir. Let me see. We do have 5 redemptions. Should I open it back up, Jackus, and you can tweet it out? What do you think? We do have 5 redemptions already. Exactly 5. Should I open it back up, Jackus? What do you think?
No more than 5 more max. Give him 5 more max.
I can't
Let's
hear
do
you, Tucker.
5 more.
Your mic must be messed up. I didn't hear
5
you.
more max. I
I
swear.
can't.
Let's
I
do
don't know.
5 more for the loyal ones.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice, Tucker. That's really nice.
It's real nice. I've got some USDT hopium right here, guys. Because we need it. We need it. Because that chart looked pretty good for a second there, but I just took a peek and I was like, this looks like Bitcoin at 48K in March of 22, low key.
Dude, it really does.
Send it down. Crush
Like,
it.
It really does.
Yeah,
It
like
looks
if
really
I
good.
just take everything off, like, it just kind of looks like that shoulder that Bitcoin put in before it went to Hades.
It does look good for another big drop lower. I was looking for this final shakeout.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're gonna open it up for 5 more. But here's the thing: is if you don't use it while we're on the show, Jackus is gonna tweet it out, and then it's gonna go in like 5 minutes. So, like, this is kind of your window before 135,000 followers of Jackus's get to see the code. So I'm just letting, like, we're gonna wrap the show up here in like a few minutes, and then it's done. Like, he's gonna tweet it out, and it's gonna be over. So if you want to, I mean, up to you, right? You could take your chances. You think about it. You could wait until, after the show. That's fine. But when the Twitter crowd gets it, I mean, just forget about it. You know what I mean? Just forget about it. Tucker, what's your cycle low target for USDTD?
I think it'd be hard to look for lower than, I'd say anywhere between 2 to 2.5. Probably. I don't really think you're gonna get below there. And it's like, where do you define the end of the cycle type of thing? But I think you get this green box. Which is a huge drop, by the way. They're like that. I'm fine with that. It's 57%. Like,
yeah.
Do you think what is possible too, guys? That first box that you had there, Tucker, if you can go back to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Also nice sweep.
The first one, redraw it.
Right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from here, we are going down there. We are going to make a bounce, and then we are going to go lower because this is a super cycle. Super cycle.
So you're looking for like that, and then like maybe here,
study,
and then down there.
Yes.
Study.
Yes, and that is going to be the macro crypto top.
So maybe like that.
But it's going to go different than what most people thought, I believe. Like, I think what most people thought the super cycle is just going straight up in a straight line very quickly. But like, this is the super cycle basically playing out just in a different manner than most anticipated.
Hang on. I see a comment here. I just opened the code back up for 5 more people, but it only works for the gold tier. Okay. So it's the gold package. It's listed on our website. Here, I'll show you what it is. Okay. There's 5 more because 5 sold out. Tucker said no. Jackus said yes. I'm completely ignoring our CFO. Like, to talk to him later about it. It's going to be a big issue, but huge issue. Huge issue. It's this one. So if you sign up for the gold and you use code Chef50 right there, Chef50, you get 50% off your first month. And this month, literally within this week, you're going to get BB Terminal. It's going to be in the beta testing mode, right? But we did open it back up for 5 more people. Look at the code. Look at Kareem says, what code? It's right there at the bottom. You go to our website. The link in the bio will take you to our website. You go here to the bottom. You put in, you click on this, whatever. You put in your information. You click sign up, and then you put in the code at checkout. Right before you pay 50% off for your first month, and that'll give you BB Terminal as well. So, but yeah, as soon as Jackus, because we were only going to do for 5 people, but then that went pretty quickly. So if Jackus wants to tweet it out after, he can. But I mean, he's got a lot of followers. Like, you should code not working, brother. Okay, well, it also only works for first-time members. So if you had a membership prior, might not work for you. Just saying.
I can only afford Pilsner Urquell. That's for the US guys. That's the best Czech beer, which I'm drinking right now. By the way.
Ooh,
Is it a lager or what type of beer is it, Jackus?
Lager.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up right now, guys. Tommy, you want to take us out?
Yeah, I can take us out, but I'll do my best with the outro today. My brain's pretty fried, guys. Like Max was saying, we did do a VC at like 3 or 4 in the morning last night in the Discord. I was up super late. Obviously, markets are very chaotic and volatile right now. But to do some housekeeping before we officially wrap up, guys, a reminder that we have launched our official hedge fund, BBWM, BB Wealth Management. But what's super exciting is, obviously we are a digital asset, primarily a digital asset fund. Looking to capture the asymmetric upside that the asset class has traditionally yielded. But we are also capable of trading both ways, and we manage risks in a way to potentially capitalize on kind of events like we saw this weekend. We actually did very well as a fund here over the last few days, and I'm pretty proud of that fact, despite the fact that I'm sure many of our counterparties are not probably enjoying everything that's been happening in the markets recently.
Tommy shorted the piss out of it for the fund. That's what he's trying to say politely.
BB Wealth Management cooked this weekend. Long story short. So if becoming an LP or an accredited investor is something that interests you, you want to be a part of our fund, we do have more information linked in the description below. Just reach out to us via email. We will try to get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. But also, do not forget that we have the BB Academy, guys. In addition to all of these great products that you've already seen on this stream, we also have a pretty incredible course where you can learn from all of us as analysts. That's me, Max, Tucker, Jackus, Will. You guys get to see how we trade, how we analyze markets, and how we approach things from a very granular standpoint, right? Like, how do we use our tools to trade? For my money, it is the best value for any course that you can find in all of crypto. So make sure to check that out if you are looking to take your trading to the next level. Maybe you're upset that you missed out on the dump. You wanted to short it. Maybe you wish you had hedged. We do have information like that contained in the course. So make sure to check that out. It's also linked in the description below. But for programming, guys, we hope that you enjoyed Market Check. Jack has cooked up a delicious meal today. And we will be back for another episode tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm actually on the Eastern time zone right now, so it is actually 11 a.m. start time for me now as well too. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the show, we will be back. We are live Monday through Friday whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open. We will continue to break down this very volatile and interesting week thus far in markets. Not to forget Market Talk with the legendary King Wabi. I know he is going to be super fired up to talk to you guys this afternoon, so make sure to tune in for that as well. Maybe you need a little bit more of a fix, given that markets are so volatile and crazy right now. That's the perfect place to spend your afternoon. So make sure to tune in for that as well, and stay following our Twitter so you can be notified, not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when Wabi goes live. But that's it from us, guys. Y'all stay safe out there, right? Because there is quite a bit of volatility still. Also going to be quite a bit of opportunity as well. No shortage of that either. But we'll do our best to cover it all for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week. I'm sure the rest of the week will not be any less entertaining. But like I said, guys, thanks again. Stay safe.